as much as there's been an attack on our daily weather, there's also been an attack on our astronomical weather. These are the energies that are received from the astronomical influences that happen in the sky, aka the sky clock. Now, you can say that and go along with the mainstream bullshit narrative that's been pushed so hard to debunk any of these astronomical influences, but these are the same people that will say, quotes like, oh, it must be the full moon energy, or we still adapt our day to where the sun is positioned in the sky. This is the most basic astrotheology that we are using every day in our society. But it goes a lot further than that. It goes with the conjunctions. It goes with the comet, like Neowise, it's going across our sky right now. These energies are being tracked by the highest institutions, aka the Vatican, with their telescopes. And these are operating just outside of the visible light spectrum. So we're using things like UV telescopes, which is located right here in Arizona. It was originally Lucifer, changed the name to Lucy back in the early 2000s. And this is an ultraviolet telescope. And UV light is aka a black light. The black sun is emitting UV light, ultraviolet telescope. So the sky clock is being tracked very, very closely by the people who are also making, well, first of all, they're suppressing all of this information. This is like what's hidden in the Vatican vault and now being applied for the greater good. Like, this is like the Gregorian calendar, the Pope Gregory that made the Gregorian calendar today, which has us riding through a loop. Now, if we look at other predictions like the Mayans, which were part of the worldwide civilization that we had, tie that in with Tartaria or whatever, but they were in tune with the sky clock. All of these people, all of these civilizations were in tune with the sky clock. And now today, in America specifically, we're totally out of sync with the spiritual side, the unseen side. And to me, this points that we are directly in the epicenter of astronomical energetic influences, and we can tap into these, but we are being distracted with the greatest soap opera that's ever been coordinated, so that we're not able to tap into our spiritual side, our soulful side, the cosmic alignments, the universal alignments. And that makes me to see that all of this stuff has gone to distract us and keep us away from that, makes me so very interested, and has me putting a lot of conscious focus and attention on making sure that my vessel and other people's vessels are in the right state to receive these energetic influences. Because if you're not homeostasis, if you're not alkaline, if you're not proper pH, if you're not hydrated, and these energetic influences that you're receiving you're not able, like your battery, your life battery to hold these energetic influences aren't high enough, then it's going to play out in ways that's going to see your physical vessel transform. You may not make it through, and then now we have this global pandemic where people are, the whole coronavirus thing, where we're talking about people who aren't eating healthy. Drinking's been pushed so heavily. All of these toxic things, toxic psychology that we're ingesting. All of this stuff, if we're not healthy, how are we going to adapt and receive these energetic influences and integrate them into our life? Right? It's kind of a rhetorical question. So as we're phasing through this year, the distractions are going to get more and more, and that means we who are in tune, tapped in, need to go further in and seek the answers within and help others as we can along our ride, along our inner calmness. Pull them into our peace. Don't get brought into the distractions. So, yeah. Organic foods, proper water, alkaline water, getting back to source, some fasting, this type of stuff, getting tuned in with our body, and integrating all of these energies that are going on around us. Black Sun, Nibiru, Nemesis, all of that, the spiritual side, getting right karmically. Yeah, so pretty interesting times. Yeah. All right, just wanted to share those thoughts with you. So did Nala. All right, and remember, when we were young, the sun was like yellow. Today, we're looking at a pretty white sun, so it's like a big LED light in the sky. It's changed. Times are changing, and they're changing slowly, and this Neowise comet is pretty interesting. And all of this black sun talk is all being shown in different places, like you look at like Japanese anime and cultures that are really tapped and tuned in. They're talking about the black sun, the cult of the black sun. Look it up. The way that the ley lines and stuff have been laid out here. Look at the pinpoints, look at the pyramids and the way things are all depicted here. This stuff's all tied and tuned in because this is literally the fabric and the energy of our reality. So yeah, some thoughts there. Let me know what you think. Chee.